Okay?
Tooth.
How a base runner can be safe more often by knowing when and how to slide. Coming up next. The art of stealing a base in baseball can be very scientific. If you don't believe me, here's a paper by physicist David Kagan explaining the science with excruciating detail. If you don't understand physics, you can read an article based on his work here. Link in the description. Basically, Kagan broke the stolen base down into 5 steps and ranked them by importance. The order of importance turned out to be 1. The runner's top speed, 2. The jump, 3. The final speed when reaching the base, 4. The lead, and 5. The rate of deceleration. Obviously, the runner's speed and the jump are highly important, but the final speed when reaching the base is more important than how large the leadoff is. That's a surprise to many, but when you think about it, it's somewhat obvious. It's similar to the myth that diving headfirst into first base will get you there quicker. Actually, that turns out not to be the case. Why? Because once you start the dive, you no longer produce forward motion. You're slowing down once you start the dive into first, while the player that keeps running has 2 or 3 more steps propelling him forward. When sliding to a base on a steal, the runner first stops forward motion, and once they hit the ground, they are essentially slamming on the brakes. Since at second and third base the runners cannot overrun the base, they do need to slide, but if you slide later, you get to the base much quicker. In these sample slides, the runners are stopping once they get to the front of the base. But they don't need to do that. They can stop over top of the base or even a little bit past as long as they remain in contact. You see this in the majors all the time. Base stealers are stopping past second on a stolen base. Here's a player getting to second on a hit and sliding as late as possible. Well, first you got to get on base. And would somebody please tell this kid to stop getting hit by the ball? You don't have to get hit in the head in order to get to first base. Feet first slide, and you can hit the base hard and use it to cause you to stand and be ready to run if you're able to. Had this runner slid too early, he wouldn't have been put out because of the error, but he may not have been able to pop up and make it to third. Sliding into home is even easier as you don't need to stop on the base. Here's a slide into home that could have been safe, but you notice the runner stops all momentum once his hands reach the front of the plate. While the defense did a superb job on this play, sliding later, like in this sample, would get you home quicker. You've likely seen this slide into home now due to its grace and style. But even more important in this slide is that he doesn't even start the slide until here, and his momentum isn't stopped until here. Had he slid just to the base to stop on it, this is more likely an out. Good base stealers need to practice sliding as late as they can while still being able to remain on the base. Or when going into home, simply slide very late, since you don't need to stay in contact. You actually don't need to slide into home either, but for safety it's generally encouraged. Just start the slide very late and get home earlier. When we look at this slide, you see just how close the tag was. If he slides earlier, he's going to be out. Here's a great headfirst slide. This runner practically lands on the base and slides over, getting him there far earlier than in this example.